Hello. Hi guys, good morning. Welcome back to a new video. Ki hal chal? I hope you guys are doing good. In this, we're gonna see a problem number three of today's contest. Again, this video took a bit of time to make because of you can see gonna be a bit of a long video, but yeah, this is count substring divisible by last hit. Now, it's going to be pretty interesting. It simply said that you are given a string s consisting of some digits. As you can see, string s having some digits. Return the number of substring of s divisible by their non-zero last digit. Non-zero last digit. And basically, they're saying what a substring is. Substring is continuous set of characters. That's a substring, and the substring can contain some leading zeros, but obviously, it when we are satisfying this condition, it should have a non-zero last digit. Now, obviously, a simple brute force approach says try to find all the n square substrings, and with that, get the answer. Now, with that n square complexity, it will not work. Now, do what? Simply, whenever we have some kind of situation in which we have to do something, and obviously optimize an answer from n square to maybe n log n or O of n, then we try to leverage some state or something which we have done previously. Either it can be pre-computation, either it can be some other set of computations, or it can be using the previous state. Again, it is something that we are trying to reuse things, because obviously it's a substring. So if it's a substring, if I have grabbed the answer for this portion, I'm just adding another character, right? So why can't I simply use the computation which I have done previously? Okay, with that in mind, let's start off again. With this simple idea, whatever I told right now, you must have thought it can go in two approaches. Obviously, there is a divisibility, then it can go in the math direction. Obviously, we said that we are leveraging substring and we can try computing or pre-computing, so it can go to arrays, or we can do memorization, it can go to DP. So these are possible states. Again, I have not even read the examples. This is simple with the help of what can be possible. Again, if you don't know any of these, I'll highly recommend go and come to the practice playlist. And if you want to DP, like try DP from this. Want maths and number theory, again, it is structured and ordered. You'll get everything here. Coming on back. So we realized I'm at a specific index I. I will try to leverage the state. What I mean by that is whatever I have done previously. What is previous? Previous is number of substrings ending at the I minus 1th index. But technically I want this as a condition. Number of substrings s divisible by their non-zero last digit. So whatever answer I'm storing, there might be an answer such that, let's say again, any DP, like it's technically a DP, but it stores that number of substrings ending at I minus 1th index, and also again giving me some result. Now, if I want to find the answer for I, let's say it is dp of I, then I will try to leverage dp of I minus 1. But what I will store is a question. What I will store in that dp of I minus 1 is the question. So I will technically store number of substrings ending at I minus 1 satisfying some condition. What is the condition? Condition is it should be divisible by their non-zero last digit. Obviously, it technically says it should be divisible by their last digit. So I will also maintain a digit, right? That will also help me to maintain corresponding last digit, or again, in general, a digit. Okay, let's proceed forward. Let's try to build up. So if I'm trying to include the current index I or the current element I, obviously I will get to know the current digit, which is this digit. Again, simple. S of I minus a 0 character will give me the current digit itself. So I realize that if I am at the ith index, I am trying to find dp of I, but then I realize it also needs to store the digit itself, or maybe the current digit, or maybe some, like, again it should be some digit itself, which means I will maintain I and the digit. Okay, then I realized that let's try to build the answer. Okay, at the current index I have, let's say, 3. Again, I took a random number. I have a 3 here. I realized I will take some result from previous things, but that any result from the previous thing should make sure that it ends at 2. If I know it will end at 2, which means I will have to take a substring, and I'm extending that specific substring itself. Now, when I say I will include a 3, by the condition, by the problem statement, any substring which technically ends at 3, what all possibilities can be there? It can be a 3, it can be a 3 2, it can be a 3 2 4, it can be a 3 2 4 5, and so on and so forth, right? And so on and so forth. So you see how I am building up. Now, as you can easily see, one possible case is I don't even take anything from my previous part, which means I am individually, standalone as a party. Or I take myself and I start taking things from the back. Now, when I say I start taking things from the back, take one general example. Let's say I take everything from the back. Then, obviously, how I can represent this state? I can represent by saying everything from the back, multiply by 10, getting the current number, current digit 3. Now, this should be actually divisible by 3 itself. Now, this 3 is nothing but this digit. But why I have written a divisor here? That's a question which I will answer right now. Because you will realize that when you are trying for all these possible states, what you're trying to do, let's come back to the state. What we need that, okay, this is a number to extend to, again, let's say if I give anything, let's say if I give 102, what is this? It is nothing but 10 multiplied by 10, just to shift it once, plus 2, it is 102. Let's say if I give you 92, it is 9 into 10 plus 2, right? So if I am having this, I'm extending a 3, it will be nothing but this multiplied by 10 plus 3. Now, to get things divisible by 3, because again, this is my maqsad, this is my target. I want things to be divisible by its last digit, right? Again, forget about I have written a divisor here. Just imagine it's a last digit. Then I need that this number should be divisible by 3. Technically multiplied by 10, but still this number should be divisible by 3. Then this should be divisible by 3, which also gives us a fact that this is a digit. If any previous substring I am dividing by a digit, I am getting some remainder, right? So I cannot maintain a digit because obviously I have multiple states. I have 1 5 4 2, I have 5 4 2, I have 4 2, I have 3. So I can have multiple such, because again the string size is of size n. So these prefixes can be a lot. In general can be n, but technically I cannot maintain all the n prefixes. That's not possible. So what I can do, I can maintain remainders in that case, because remainder will be remainder from a digit, and this digit is from 1 to 9. If the digit is from 1 to 9, the remainder will also be from 0 to 9. In that, or I should say 0 to 8, let's say. So in that case, my remainder itself is restrictive. So rather than maintaining the last prefixes, as in, this is a state, this is a state, this is a state, this is a state. So rather than maintaining all the prefixes, I can simply maintain its corresponding remainders, because that's ultimately what I need. So what I try to say here is, rather than maintaining 1542, 542, 422, rather than maintaining all these, I will maintain only the remainders, because technically that is only what I require. So I now realize, okay, I need a remainder also. Okay, now I need a remainder. I realize I will need a digit, and again this is the current digit, this is the current digit. So far we realized the state which we are trying to find. I need a ith index as one of the state of my DP. I need my current digit also. Then I need my remainder. Now the first question can come to your mind is, Aryan, if I am at ith index, I can easily determine the current digit. Then why are you even saying that you need a digit here? That is the reason I mentioned that I will need divisor, which means that not even current digit, I have to store all the divisors. I have to try for all the divisors. Why I say this is because, let's see with the help of this example, sorry. So this simply says that, okay, I am at the index I. See, you see that I am building up what all states needs to be done. I am not making you, okay, this is the state and I'm proving it. No, I am telling you exactly how you can approach a problem step by step. Now, coming on back, I am at this index. Now, you are, again, I know this is a hard question and people will not watch it again, but if you want to watch it, you can watch it. Now, coming on, we are at the index I now. Now we realized I need I and I also need a remainder. But then I also realized that I was putting up a digit here rather than a divisor. Like if you remember, I was putting up a digit. Like this is what I was saying. I require a digit itself, digit, and that technically is nothing but the current digit, which is, let's say, I. So this is S of I. That itself I was placing here. This I was placing here. But when I told you that I need the previous state, so did you see what happened? I'll tell you. when I was computing an answer for this specific state, you will see that I take again, let's say I'm computing the answer again, forget about this. I'm computing the answer for, let's say, this state right now. What will happen? It will try for all of its prefixes, which means up till 2, it can be 1, 2, it can be 2 only, anything. Then he will do a multiply by 10 and then add a plus 9. Multiply by 10, add a plus 9. But now I am saying divide by all the possible divisors. Now you might ask, Aryan, I should only divide by 9 because that is the current digit only. So technically I should only do something of this sort because this is what I require. You might be correct, but the moment you land onto the next index, let's see what the next index require. Next index will say that, bro, okay, everything up till 9 multiplied by 10 plus this current digit, which is 3, and divide by the divisor. Again, now technically you need, here the divisor is 3, which means that whenever you are trying to find remainder, whenever you are trying to find remainder, that remainder will be nothing but this thing, which is dot 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 up till 9. Why I say dot dot dot? Because I want you to imagine this as 9 or 9 2 or 9 2 1, anything. Then I am doing a mod with 3. That is the reason, because the next state can ask me for anything. The next state can ask me for 3. That is the reason I did a mod by 3 also. So not even myself. So like for example here, technically it is 3 as a digit. So I did a divide by 3. That is required for the current state. But for the next state, it could require mod by 4, mod by 5, mod by 6 or anything. That is the reason I have to compute that specific mod value for the next state. So technically for the current state, I only required mod by 9. But still I computed all possible mods for my next state. Okay, that is the reason you will see I did not use a digit here. No, I use a divisor. Divisor will go from 1 up till 9. So that divisor will go from 1 to 9. Because obviously I will try for all possible divisors. Right? And this is the entire crux of this problem. So ultimately, what you realized? You realized that you will try for each index. For each index, you will go on to all of its divisors. For every divisor, it will give you some remainder. You will use the previous state, I minus 1. You know the previous state. You will try for the remainder of the previous state. Again, this can become very complex. I will show you a diagram also. I will show you the actual code also. But be with me. Then, okay, let's come on back. For every index, I go on to the previous state, which means the previous remainder. Previous remainder multiplied by 10 plus digit can give, with some specific divisor, can give me some set of results. That result is stored in the dp of I minus 1 with this current divisor. With the previous remainder is giving me, let's say, x number of substrings ending at index I minus 1. Then if I have x number of substrings ending at index I minus 1 with a remainder of this rem with this divisor, then I can easily say if I extend it by one more string, then at the current index with the same divisor but with the new remainder. What is this new remainder? This new remainder is nothing but remainder into 10 plus the current digit, which is nothing but s of I, again minus 0. This is the current digit mod with the help of this divisor. This is my new remainder. So what happened here? This said that number of substrings ending at index I minus 1 with this remainder with this divisor is x. If I extend it one more, then number of substring ending at index I with this same divisor but obviously with a new remainder will again be x. Because again, if let's say 1 2 3, if the number of substrings ending at this index with some divisor with some remainder is, let's say, 5, then obviously if I extend it, although it is less, let's say if it is 2, if I extend it, then let's say if I had a 4, then I will say, okay, ending at now 4, because of this thing, a fixed pair of divisor and remainder will also give me a 4 here. But here obviously the remainder will be different, which is the new remainder. Cool. again, I know that it is still tricky, but I'll again say, please listen this audio video again. This is not an easy question. Again, I'm telling you. Now, coming on back, how we will write the code. Obviously, we will try to go into all the indexes, right? For every index, I told you that I will try for all the devices. Again, you know the reason for trying for all the devices. The only reason we are trying for all the divisor is the next state can ask for some other division. That is the reason I'm trying for all the devices. Now I told you that when I try for all the devices, I need to know the previous remainder. So previous remainder, I will again try for all the possible values. So that's how I can try for all the possible values for previous remainder. And then I will find the new remainder, which is add the ith index with this divisor, with this as the previous remainder. What should be the new remainder? New remainder will say existing remainder multiplied by 10 with the current digit. How we will find that? Current digit is nothing but s of I minus 0 is the current digit. And doing a mod with the divisor. This will give me new remainder. Now I will say that dp of I divisor new remainder, which says that ending at index I with this current divisor and achieving a new remainder, I will add an impact of ending at index I minus 1 with the same divisor but with the previous remainder, right? I'll simply add the impact. Again, this is the same way saying up till 1, 2, 3, whatever number of substrings I had, ending at index I minus 1, having a divisor D with the remainder giving as R. Now, if I add a 4, so ending at index I with the same divisor, but obviously a new remainder because now the new remainder will be something different. How much impact will I add? So if this was giving a 5 as an impact, then this ultimately also will become 5 times. 5, let's say if this portion, let's say dot order, if this portion was giving me X number of substrings, if I just extend that, ending at this will now give me X number of substrings with the specific condition of specific divisor and specific remainder. And then this is the portion when I include my previous remainder. So this is previous remainder which I'm trying for all the possibilities. But the question is, what if I don't include a previous remainder? Okay, in that case, it is a solo person. A solo person says, okay, the solo person again will be divisible by all the devices. So dp of I, which means the current index, dividing by all the devices again, but now the digit only is 4. So digit divided by divisor is the remainder. And because the person can exist solo also, so increase the frequency by 1. What this says? This says number of substrings ending at index I, having a divisor of D and having a remainder of 4 more divisor. This is nothing but 1, or I should say increase by 1. And why I'm increasing by 1? Why I'm not placing a 1? Because obviously I want to keep on adding all possible answers. I want sum of all possible substrings. That's the reason. And ultimately, when you have tried for all the possible, divisor value, your maksat was ending at an index I. For this digit, it should give a remainder of 0, which means that for 1, 2, 4, 2, I want ending at index I for this digit of 2, giving a remainder of 0. How many substrings are there ending at index I? That I have to add in my answer. So I'll simply add in my answer dp of I, digit and 0. What this says? This says ending at index I with this digit as a divisor, you're getting a remainder of 0, which ultimately indicates that you are taking consideration what the question wants. Now, this is how you will simply solve it. Now, obviously, I will show you a bottom-up code, which is much simpler. This is the bottom-up code. I will show you this code. This is much simpler. Again, for the folks who feel like that top-down code is easy, I have also pasted a code here for your reference. It is much harder to understand. That's the reason I will not explain this. Obviously, people usually think of that top-down is much easier, but not always, and that I have told up when I was discussing many problems in DP. The same thing I've discussed. If you want, you can just go in the exact manner, watch the videos, solve it, and get to know. But obviously, for the folks who want, you can see this. This is the corresponding code for top-down. It will work, but again, this is much harder to understand, while bottom-up is much easier to understand. Now, before I show you the code, which is exactly same as what these piece of lines are, I will give you a small dry run. But again, a disclaimer, if you didn't understand up till so far, the dry run will not help you at all because it is a 3D DP. In 3D DP, the dry runs, the actual dry run are much more complex than the actual problem. So obviously, let's see the dry run, but make sure if you didn't understand so far anything, dry run will not help you. Just go about it. So go and watch the video back. Coming on, I just took the first example, which is 1 2 9 3 6. Now, obviously, in the very first stage, I told you that I will try for the current index I. I'll go to all the divisors. Divisors can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. I told you then I will try for the remainders. For 1, the remainders can be 0 only. For 2, the remainder can be 0 or 1. For 3, the remainder can be 0, 1, 2, and so on and so forth. Now, obviously, for let's say when the remainder, let's say if I take only one, then 1 mod 1 will obviously 0. Again, this one is this specific digit and this one is this specific one. Then obviously I will have one state. What this means? This means that ending at index 0 with the divisor of 1 with the remainder of 0, you will have one possible substring. Same way, ending at index 0 with the 2 as a divisor, remainder as a 1. 2 as a divisor, remainder as a 1, you will have one substring. Same way, ending at index 0 with 3 as a divisor, 1 as the remainder, you have index 1. You have one substring. Same way, I will just compute that because again, it's the beginning one. So you have no other, pre-state available because it's the first index. That's the reason everyone I have shown here as 1. Okay, let's go on the next one. Next one, the index is 1, value is 2. In that case, you will see. Now comes the fun part. The fun part says that start from divisor as 1. Obviously, I will try for all the divisors. Divisor as 1, then I will try for divisor as 2, then divisor as, let's go down, 3 and 4 and so on and so forth. 4 and so on and so forth. Okay, let's come on back. Let's try for divisor of 1. For divisor of 1, I told you that again the remainder can be only 0 as a possibility. For divisor of 2, remainder can be 0 and a 1. For divisor of 3, the remainder can be 0, 1 or 2. Now, let's come on back for divisor of 1. For divisor of 1, if the remainder is 0, this is the previous remainder. What will be the new remainder? Let's find out. New remainder will say previous remainder multiplied by 10, current digit, mod with the divisor. This is the new remainder. So, my DP of ending at index I, again, which is index 1, having a divisor of 1, ending, having a new remainder of 0, which is this remainder, I should simply add the DP of I minus 1, which is, previous index, with the same divisor, but with the previous remainder, which is 0. In this case, this is the 0, previous remainder. Thus, it gave me an answer of 1. What this means? This means that ending at index 1 with 1 as a divisor and 0 as a remainder, I will get one substring, which ultimately says ending at index 1, this one, with 1 as the divisor, which means dividing by 1. Remainder is 0. Remainder is 0. I got 1. But this is when I took my previous element, which means previous element is included. And thus I took the help of this thing. What is this thing? This thing is dp of 0 with the d of 1 and a 0. This says that dp of 0, 1, 0. This is this thing. So it says that ending at this, I have one substring, one substring. Now, because I have included this, now ending at this index with 1 as the divisor, 1 as a divisor, same divisor. But now the modulus is 0. Because it was 1 here, it is again 1 here because this is not included. So now I will add a 1. But now I told you 1 is, what if I don't include anything from my past? Then I start fresh. I don't take anything. A simple DP, take, not take. If I don't include anything from my past, I will don't take anything. Which means I will simply check the state, which is DP of current index, ending at current index, having a divisor of 1, because this is the current divisor, having a divisor of 1, with a remainder of what? Now, this remainder will be computed with the help of digit divided by modulo. So, the modulo says the divisor. Divisor is 1. So, digit is 2, mod 1 is 0. So, the remainder will be a 0. Simply add a plus 1. This says that ending at index 1 with a divisor of 1 and a remainder of 0, I have one substring, which is this one. So this is what it says. Cool. Now, same way do for when I have divisor as 2. When the divisor is 2, again have three possibilities. Remainder is 0, remainder is 1, or I have a fresh state, fresh state. Now, when the remainder is 0, what will happen? Find the new remainder. New remainder will say that remainder is 0, which is the previous remainder, multiplied by 10 with the current digit. Modulo with the divisor, it is giving me a 0. So this is a 0 as a new divisor. With the current index, which is 1, existing divisor, and with a new remainder of 0, I can leverage my previous index with the same divisor and the old remainder, which is 0. Again, I told you, if you didn't understand the past thing, this dry run will not help you at all. So go and understand the logic, don't the dry run. Like dry run understanding for 3DP is one of the biggest, like shittiest thing you can actually do. So yeah, let's come on back. Okay, let's try for r equal to 1. Now, new remainder, it simply says that simply try to find the new remainder, existing remainder multiplied by 10 plus the current digit mod by 2, which is divisor itself for us, giving me a new remainder of 0. So it says that ending at index I with the current divisor and the new remainder, I can leverage the previous index, same divisor but with the old remainder. Because it was 1, as you can remember, that dp of 0, 2 and 1, dp of 0, 2 and 1, 0, 2 and 1 was actually a 1. It says that I can leverage that, and now my dp of current index, divisor as 2, remainder as 0 is nothing but simply adding a 1 here. Now, if I tell you exactly how and what happened right now, so just simply look at it. When you had the previous index I minus 1, which only had this 1, you found out that ending at index I minus 1 and dividing by 2, giving a remainder of 1, you had one possible answer, because this one divide by 2 giving a remainder of 1, you have one possible substring. Now I am leveraging that substring. How? I will say ending at index I, which is this index. Obviously, I will take something from past, but dividing by the same divisor, which is 2. Now getting me a new remainder. New remainder will be anything in the past, which is the remainder from the past. How I'll get the remainder from the past? Remainder is nothing but anything which is the substring from the past divided by the same divisor will give me some remainder. That remainder I already have. That divisor I already have. So, which means I can leverage that portion. So, I will find my new remainder. My new remainder will look like existing remainder, which means the past remainder, multiplied by 10 plus the current digit, which is 2, modulo by the divisor, which I have, is giving me a 0, which ultimately indicates that ending at, let's say, dp of I, which means ending at the current index with a divisor of 2, taking my new remainder as a 0, I can leverage my previous state, which says that ending at the previous index, taking the divisor as again 2, but with the remainder of 1. So with this thing having a remainder of 1, I was able to include that and say that if I do a same divide, but now I include something from you, if you having a divide of, having a remainder of 1, me having a remainder of 0 will include one substring, because you having a remainder of 1 with the same divisor included one substring. So if this is 1, if I include this, I will also be having 1. But again, I'll also having 1 including this. So this is one specific unique substring which I have. Cool. And this is exactly what I have also written. Now, I wanted to make more, as you can see. Yeah, you can continue that, which means don't take the current specific element or specific past element. Then this is a state. When d equal to 3, I have shown you these are all the possible options. And again, when I don't take anything from the past, this is also possible options. And again, do the same thing up till 9, and the current answer so far will be 3. Again, you will have to repeat it for every specific index on all 3 possible states. It can go pretty long. That's the reason I have not edited it. But again, if you want, you can dry run it. But so far, the dry run should be more than enough to just explain what exactly is happening. Cool. Let's see the code. Okay, it was pretty long. Cool. Again, why I showed dry run? If I would have been, I would have never shown the dry run. It's literally like one of the wrong things to do for these problems, because here the concept is important. Here, understanding this thing this portion is important, right? Okay, coming on back. Let's see the code. The code simply says, firstly, initialize vector dp having n minus 1, 10, and 10. Now, I'll go to all the possible indexes. For every index, I'll get the current digit. I will try for all possible divisors. For every divisor, I'll try for all possible previous remainders. For all possible previous remainders, find a new remainder, which is nothing but the previous remainder multiplied by 10 plus the digit divided by divisor is my new remainder. I will say that for ending at the current index with the divisor with the new remainder, again, this is a simple condition because of to not get a runtime exception. Elsewise you can start from the index 1 also. Then simply take the reference of the last index with the same divisor but with the old remainder. This you can see is a new remainder, this is the old remainder, and then you can simply get the answer. But obviously I told you that one is if you don't include anything from the past, which means I'm taking fresh myself, ending at the current index with the divisor, but now the remainder will be ending at the current index but not taking anything from the past, which means taking only myself is the digit, so taking digit only divided by divisor is the remainder, and ultimately increasing by 1 because element by its own also is one substring. Ultimately, when I have tried for all the possibilities ending at index I should make sure that I should add in my answer the impact is nothing but ending at index I and having a divisor of digit giving a remainder of 0 is my actual answer which I want, and I want it for all the indexes, so I'll add it for all the possible indexes, and that's my answer. Now, because you are trying for n, 10, and 10, so time is n to n 10, and space is also n into 10 into 10. Now, you will see that whenever you use extra space, this is a lot of space. When n is 1e5, this is 1e7. 1e7 is a hell lot of space. Because you're using a hell lot of space, thus it might be a chance you will see your runtime going to like 2500 milliseconds, which is pretty high. And again, this is not because of this time. This is actually because of space, technically. Again, you might feel like, Aryan, space, how it impacts time. That's true. But still, this is because of more of that space roughly indirectly impact time also. How you can optimize, again, time will not be optimized. This is pretty good. 1e7 is pretty good. 1e7 as a space is pretty bad. How we optimize this? We optimize this by simply seeing a very standard concept which we have seen in a lot of our DP videos. What is that concept? That concept says that I am at index I only need the past index. That's it. So why I am maintaining all the n states? I will not maintain that. Again, I have not shown you the code, but you can just simply make sure that you want the current index, not the past indexes. Simply maintain only 2 states. Thus, the space will roughly become, you can take a 3 also or 2 also, but it will roughly become constant, which is around 10 to the power 4. So 10 to the power 2, and this is roughly constant. So with that, you can increase your time also and space also. And again, obviously space is much more beneficial in this case because again, you will see that you only need the previous index. That's it. You don't need any of the past indexes. That's all. Game is not required here. And that's how you can leverage the corresponding space in this case. Again, if you don't know what this is, just simply come down to the DP. Here most of the problems optimizations are having that space optimization which we do, and that's how we can leverage the space. Cool. Bye bye, take care. I hope you guys got it. Again, I tried my best to have as much dry run, but again, I'm telling this is not a problem where dry run will be useful. Bye bye, take care.